play it.
Total Gym is fun, and let's face it, I mean, unless you're enjoying what you're doing, you're just not going to do it 2, 3, 4 times a week. And with this, movements are fun. You get into the feeling of that slide and pull, and you really feel each muscle part that you're working, and it feels fun. And it's kind of addictive in a way. It just feels good.
Congratulations on your purchase of the Total Gym. This revolutionary piece of home fitness equipment can replace a gym full of equipment and yet is portable enough to be used virtually anywhere in your home. With your Total Gym, you can perform over 60 exercises on one compact, easy-to-store unit and design a workout program to fit any fitness level. You can flatten your stomach, trim your hips and thighs, improve your posture, tone and stretch your muscles, and most important, change not only the way you look, but how you feel about yourself. Strength training with the Total Gym not only tones and conditions the muscles we use every day to stand, walk, lift, and turn, it actually transforms your body composition by reducing body fat and increasing the proportion of lean muscle in our bodies. Strength training effectively turns up our metabolic thermostat so that we burn up to 30% more calories all the time, no matter what we're doing, even when our bodies are at rest. So, by using your Total Gym in a regular fitness program, you can lose weight and keep it off. The purpose of this tape is to help you get the most out of your workouts and ensure that you perform the exercises properly. And exercising the right way is one of the most important keys to success in any exercise program. Along with this video, we've included an instructional manual and a flip chart with your Total Gym. Please refer to the manual when you have any questions concerning the operation of your Total Gym. Use the flip chart in setting up your workout program and also to learn the proper form for each exercise. Now, Larry Westfall, co-creator of the Total Gym, will show you how easy it is to set up your Total Gym.
Now we're ready to show you how the assembly process works and how to unfold your Total Gym and get some of those steps behind you so you can get into your exercise program. What we're going to do first, we're going to take it step by step so you know exactly what to do through each step of the process of unfolding the Total Gym. But you want to take it slow, and it will take a little practice. Some of the things you want to be aware of, you might want to have it on carpeting or maybe have a mat, because there are some parts that can scratch your floor, so you want to be aware of that. Once you have your Total Gym out of the box and unassembled, as far as all your packing material, lay your Total Gym flat with the board up. You want to take your support squat stand, have this ready. We're going to place this into the bottom receptacles at the bottom of the Total Gym when the Total Gym is in the upright position. Change your position to the other end of the board. You grab onto the end of the board right here, and you're going to just lift this straight up. Be aware there's a support column underneath. The support column, you want to put your hand on it as soon as possible so in case it's detached, it won't fall back. So grab onto the side of the board, lift it a little bit, grab the support column, and just tilt this up nice and easy. And that squat stand there, we'll just let it stand right up in the upright position. Now that it's in the upright position, we're going to take the support column and we're going to spread the Total Gym all the way out flat. And that will be your starting position to change the levels of the resistance. Unhook your support column, just pull this off the support bar. Keep a hold of this so it doesn't fall down. And move it out a little bit forward. Just lift your hand up on the top of the board here. Lift this out about 2 or 3 feet. Now, as you put the Total Gym down, it's very important to support the rails. The rails will just completely fall down if you don't hold on to the side of the rail. So you just slowly move this out. Just kind of move on its own. And then just squat down and let that come down nice and easy. Do that a few times so you can see how smooth you can make it happen. Put your Total Gym column up at a 90-degree angle, like this. You're ready to go to the next step. You go to the back of the unit. I'm going to show you how to change some of the levels. In the back of your support column, there's an adjustment lever. This adjustment lever moves up and down. It moves a small pin to go in and out of these holes. So in your exercise programs, you'll be able to change the resistance. The higher you go, the more difficult it becomes. So first, you'll take the lever, lift it up, that pulls the pin, change your position, So you can grab onto the side of the rail here. This is going to help you to lift to the desired level that you want. We're going to bring it up one level. And once you get up to that level, you've got to put the pin back down, the lever down, and then it'll just slide into place and lock into place. Let's do that again. Lift the lever. Make sure you always support the rails. Because if you don't support the rails, you can see it can just drop down. Lift it up, lift your lever down, it'll lock right into place. Now there's something very important. Once you have your lever in place, we have a safety pin that goes into the side of the column. This is so that if someone were to come along, a child, and pull that up, it's going to keep the rails from falling down. So it's just an extra safety device that you always want to make sure that you have in. Now that you've completed your level adjustment, putting in your safety pin in, will take you to the next step of putting some of the accessories onto the Total Gym that you have. We're going to put in the instruction flip chart, and this goes on the little rings, goes right into the top of your unit here. This will come in handy as you go through your programs, and these just flip over depending on what program that you're on. Now, any reference that I've talked to about so far is your exercise manual. It has all your safety tips, it has all your instruction, and all your exercises, your additional exercises in the manual. So make sure you read this because it has a lot of important safety tips for you. Now, to get ready for the very first exercise, we're going to hook on the swivel foot holder. You pull your pins on these. This will be your first exercise in your basic fitness program, called leg pull. In positioning your swivel foot holder, there's a hole in the side of the rail. Find the position hole, put your swivel foot holder in that position, and put your pin in. Now there's a pin for the opposite side. Do the same thing. And now you're ready to go on your first exercise, which is the leg pull in your starter beginner program. Now on your second exercise, which is the arm pullover, there's one thing you'll want to do. You'll want to disconnect your cables. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very simple. You always want to lift your board a little bit off the platform, up the platform, and just tilt your pulley that's underneath the board and unhook it. And you just need to take this and put this over the back. Make sure your pulleys and handles are out of the way so you can perform the exercise. And now you're ready to get started on your program. It's pretty simple.
Now that you've learned how to set up your Total Gym, you're ready to begin the starter program. When exercising, wear athletic shoes and light, comfortable clothing. Begin exercising at a lower incline until you're comfortable with the movement of the exerciser. As your fitness level improves, you can increase the intensity of your workout by varying the level of the incline. For more information on the resistance level as it relates to the percentage of body weight, refer to the resistance table in your flip chart. Before you start working out, here are some pretty important safety tips you should keep in mind when using your Total Gym.
One of the most important safety tips is keeping the rails clear of loose clothing and hair. As Lucinda is sitting here on the Total Gym, you notice that her sweatshirt is hanging off onto the rails. If she were to move that board, it would get caught in the rollers. Make sure the loose clothing is off or off the rails, not hanging off the edge of the board to get caught in the pulleys or on the rails. The next thing is look at where she's positioned. Her head is off the end of the board, which her hair can get caught in the pulleys or on the rails. You need to reposition yourself and always check where your head is positioned on the board so you don't get your hair caught or your loose clothing caught. Now here's the proper position. Look where her head is. There's no hair hanging off. Another important safety tip is you have the occasion to want to put your hands on the rails. You got to keep your hands off the rails and the rolling surface. It's easy to catch your finger on a roller or to pinch your hand. So keep your hands off any rails doing any exercise. When using your pulley system to dismount, to get off the board, you never want to let the pulley handles go and slide down to the bottom. You want to put your feet on the floor first. When getting off the Total Gym using the pulley system, you want to make sure that you stabilize the board by putting your feet on the floor first. Set up in the sit-up position, drop the handles. Now you have the board stabilized. Let your board roll down, and it's easy to get off the Total Gym that way. When holding your Total Gym up, one of the most important things is remember to keep your hands away from the rails so you don't get caught in the pinch point area. The proper way to fold your Total Gym, your hands at the top of the board and your other hand on the back of the support column, keeps your hands away from the rails. Now we're ready to get started on our first program in the exercise flip chart called the starter program. You're going to be doing 15 to 25 repetitions, and we're going to take the unit starting on the second level. You'll want to do at least 15 repetitions on that level. If that's too hard, just lower it. Lucinda's going to help me. We're going to do the first exercise, which is that leg pull exercise which we showed. Sit right here on the end of the board. You position her feet in the swivel foot holder. Just put one foot in at a time. Just keeping your toes pointed a little forward, that locks the heels in. And then you really want to secure the strap down. You can do that just by pulling with your heels and bending with your knees and just bringing that strap all by yourself on there. Now the exercise, first you're in a decline position, stretching the back, hips and the thighs and the legs. In fact, it's a very relaxing position. The actual exercise, you're going to bend at the knees, just point your toes, great, looks like that. And you're working the calves, the hamstrings, the hips and the thighs, and the glutes in this exercise. As you bring your head and shoulders forward, you're bringing the upper and lower abdominal into play. This is a great lower and upper body exercise for abdominals, legs, arms, shoulders. It's just in this one exercise. Look at the range of motion that she's getting. Get a full extension all the way down. Come up as far as you can. Now this is where you'll do your 15 to 25 reps. As you get to that 25 reps, then you can raise it up a level because it becomes easy. Great, keep that up. Okay, now the next exercise we're going to go to is the arm pullover exercise. Now Lucinda, place your arms right here and just lift. That takes the strain off your back as you lift yourself up. Use your arms to assist you. Take your strap off. Great. And just step off. Okay, here you want to take your swivel foot holder off. Place it to the side, and we'll want to hook up the pulley system. Just slide your board forward, slip the pulley under to hook it onto the little hook under the board, and let it come down. Now, it's important that you always control the board with the pulley handles when you want to position yourself. I'm going to have Lucinda grab the handles. You always control the board by taking the handles first. This will allow you to position yourself. She's going to sit about a foot from the end of the board, and as she lies back, we want her head at the top of the board. Now, we don't want her head hanging off. If you have any loose clothing or your hair, make sure that it's on the board, not hanging off so it doesn't get caught in the pulleys or the rollers. Now, she's going to place her feet up on the board. If you notice, she had her feet on the floor to stabilize the board before she got on and laid back. Now, you're in the starting position. Her back is supported, and as she goes back slow, look at the stretch. I don't know of any type of exercise program where you stretch while you work out. This is such a dynamic stretch for the back, the shoulders. Now as she comes forward, she lifts her head and shoulders. This brings the abdominal into play. If you remember on the first exercise, the leg pulls, we work the abdominal. We're hitting it again. We just keep hitting that ab and abdominal area so you can lose those inches and tighten up the abdominals. Okay, she does the repetitions. Now this is a slow tempo. Very slow. It builds strength, endurance, flexibility, range of motion. Great inch loss for the backs of the arms. She's working the triceps, shoulders, abdominal. Great, nice and smooth. You're going to do 15 to 25 reps. You'll work up to 25. When it gets easy, for 3 or 4 workouts, raise it up a level. You'll drop you back down to that 15 repetitions. Great. At the end range, she stops. Now we're going to get her off the board. Place your feet on the floor. Now that stabilizes the board so the board won't move. Then just drop your handles. Sit up. Let the board roll down. And that's the finish of the 2 exercises. Again, that's quite simple, but it's going to take you a couple of times doing it. Do this program at least for a week or 2. Familiarize yourself with the product. Because you want it to be smooth, you want it to be easy. If you're doing anything where it feels awkward, you know that you're doing something wrong. Look back at your flip chart, think what you're doing, take it slow. When you've done this again for a week or 2, then you can go into your basic beginner program. The beginner exercise program is probably one of the most effective exercise programs you can do. You can work all your major muscle groups twice. You're stretching, getting range of motion, you're toning, firming, strengthening, all in that one program. Now, we've already got Lucinda here in the first exercise, which is the leg pull. We're going to do it one more time so you can see the approach that we're doing. Pull forward. Again, she's working calves, hamstrings, hips and thighs, and bringing the abdominals into play. We're going to go into the next exercise. Go ahead and sit up, Lucinda. Great. We're going to do the arm pullover, which we did in the starter program, that 15 to 25 reps. By hooking up your pulley system, go ahead and take the handles. You want to take off your swivel foot holder, and now you're ready to begin the next exercise. Now positioning is important again. Remember to sit about a foot from the end of the board. As we did in the starter program, a full stretch. Again, rolling the head and shoulders to work the abdominals, chest, arms, and shoulders. A great stretching exercise, great upper body exercise. Now, the next exercise we're going to do is going into the beginner program is the butterfly. You're already in the basic position, and what she's going to do is stabilize the board by putting your feet on the floor and just sitting up. Come all the way up to the top of the board. Now, if you notice, we're going to come back down the body, working the chest area. Okay, feet flat on the board. Now, she's in the seated position. You want to keep your back straight. Okay, you don't want to lean back. Now go through the repetition. Okay, now this exercise is great for the bust line if you come low. Now Lucinda, come up, come low, and come down. Great. Now that lifts the bust and the chest. Okay, and if she comes a little higher, it works more of the pectoralis muscles in the chest. Again, triceps, chest, and abdominals. She's getting a lot of endurance in the abdominal area. She's got to hold herself and resist. Can you want to come back and just have a nice little stretch? Make sure you keep just a little bend in your elbows at all times. Great. Okay, again, when we want to stabilize the board, come up to a high position, put your feet on the floor. Okay, and we're going to do the seated row. Now she's just going to stand up and turn around. Okay, and we're going to take the handles, and she's going to do the upright, or the seated upright row here. It's on the very top of the board. Your knees a little bit off the end. Scoot back a little further. And you can always position yourself even a little further back. Great. And your feet are just going to be hanging and off at a little bit of an angle. Now just pull forward. Again, this really works. Again, the chest, the backs of the shoulders, the lats. Again, that 15 to 25 reps. When you get up to that 25 reps, it becomes easy. Change the level of resistance. That lowers your repetitions back to the 15 again. Each exercise, you'll rest about 1 minute between. We're going a little fast here to show you the routine and how to get on and off and do the exercise. But you will want to do that rest period for 1 minute. Again, the tempo is slow. Up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2. Great, great upper shoulder exercise. Okay, now we're going to go to the next exercise. We're going to have Lucinda step off. And we're going to do the squat exercise. Now we've got to do some changing here. We're going to change the level because the legs are much stronger than your upper body, so we need to add a little bit more resistance. You'll slip off the pulley just by lifting the board. Just take your pulley and put it over the back. You're going to take your safety pin out. Make sure you hold the side of the rails again because you've got to control the rails as you lift. Raise it up a couple of levels. See how that resistance is. Put your safety pin back in. Okay, now we're going to do the squat. Okay, Lucinda, get in the squat position. You step over the board, straddle it, sit on the very end, position yourself. Now look at good back support, there's no pressure on the back. Now she's going to do a full squat. This squat's a little different than having weights on your shoulders because there's no pressure on the knees. As she goes through a range of motion, she's working the calves, she's working the quadriceps, she's getting a full range of motion. It's very difficult to do that when you're using with weights because you got to balance. There's a lot of stress focus out on the end of the knee. The pressure here is on the board, not on your knees. This is a great hip and thigh exercise too. We can do some variations. So maybe you do 5 reps like this, and then let's do with our knees apart. We'll work the inner thighs, and you'll keep doing that repetition. Keep that motion going again. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we can change the variation, do some lateral squats. This is also as a twisting squat also. Now guess what this does? The outer hip and thigh area gets the hip joint, and then switch it, Lucinda, to this side. Great. Okay, let's do the toes pointed in. Notice how smooth she's doing it, keeping control of the board and the slide. Again, this exercise really starts to burn those legs because you're going to do a lot of repetitions. You can get up that 25 repetitions very easily and very quickly. Once you get proficient at doing these exercises, you can start adding sets. Instead of doing just one set of the exercise, you'll come back and do it again. Okay, Okay, with your toes in, you're working the outer hips and thigh, the quadriceps. You're getting a full range in the knees as she comes down and up, down and up. A two-tempo, 1, 2, 1, 2. Great hip and thigh exercise, great for inch loss. Now going to the next exercise, the decline ab crunch. You're staying in the same position, bend the knees slightly. And this is just working through the range of the abdominal muscles. She's lifting head and shoulders, really working those abs. And keep in mind, you've already done the abs 2 or 3 times in this first basic program. Look what she's doing to her abs. She's really crunching. This will flatten the abdominals. Make sure you keep your back flat as you come forward and really lift. Really make it burn. You'll do higher repetitions in this particular exercise because you're on a decline. The incline plane gives you a little bit of a head start. It's real easy on your back. There's no back stress on this exercise. Great, Cinda. All right. She's starting to feel it burn now. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, now we're going to go to the next exercise. Again, it's always important to stabilize the board. Put your feet on the floor first. Let the board slide down. You always want to control that board. You don't want it slamming down. Okay, the next exercise is the stretcher. Grabbing the handles. You take control of the board yourself. Just slide it up with one hand. Sit at the very end because you want a lot of range of motion. Have your pulley cable on the back of the post. Okay? Now, she just leans forward. It's good to do like about a 3 count. Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds and stretch, and then come up slow. You never want to bounce. This really brings in also the shoulders, the back, and the hamstrings. Usually when you're stretching on the ground and you're just leaning forward, your back muscles are pushing. Here you can let your back muscles relax, let the shoulders stretch, get a nice stretch. Again, breathe on this exercise. Make sure you breathe out and let all your air out through the range of motion. You can do 5 or 10 reps, let it relax, hold for 3 to 5 seconds. This is kind of a warm down, a relaxing exercise because you just worked all your major muscle groups twice in your basic fitness program. You'll really feel this. It'll increase your flexibility tremendously. Okay, when getting off this particular exercise, we always want to stabilize the board. Put your feet on the floor. Okay, and just let the board slide down. And then you just lay your handles on the ground and you've completed the first 7 exercises of the beginner program. That is really probably your maintenance program that you'll do for a long period of time, maybe even months. It's always a program that you can build onto going into your intermediate program and into your advanced program. But this is such a great program to always keep that 8 to 15-minute program into your lifestyle 3 to 5 days per week. Do it. Stick with it, and you'll see inch loss, toning, firming, flexibility. Good luck. We're going to show you different ways to do an aerobic exercise program. The first exercise program I'm going to show you is the cardio pull. It's one of the dynamic exercise routines that you can do to get cardiovascular fitness. What we're trying to accomplish is at least to do 20 to 30 minutes on an aerobic program, but you'll have to work up into that. What I'm going to show you is show you positioning, show you feet position, and how your arms are stretched and working out all through a range of motion in the first exercise. You grab the pulleys. You want to be sitting on the very end of the board. Position yourself. And you want to have fun in this exercise. You're going to be spending a lot of time on the Total Gym doing this aerobic fitness program. Aerobic fitness takes time. There's many ways to get aerobic fitness. This is probably one of the most effective I've ever seen. As you go through a range of motion, pulling down, working the triceps, the shoulders. Look at the range of motion I get in the shoulders, all the way down through the triceps, the lats. As you go through the legs, you're getting a full extension of the legs. You want to get a full extension all the way up and all the way down. Now, with the cardio pull exercise, you can do a variety of things. You make it fun. You start doing some different versatility exercises. Do your laterals. Okay, this is great for any kind of sport, skiing, tennis. It really loses the inches off the hips and the thighs. You can do one leg. Okay, this increases the endurance on that one leg as you take the other leg off. You can change the arms. Do one arm at a time. 1, 2. You really want to get your repetitions up fast where you really start to get that heart rate up. You can already tell I'm starting to breathe. I can feel it. If you pull down, you get more of the triceps, the backs of the arms. Again, it's really great for the ladies to get that flabby off the back of the part of the arms. Just really work. Notice the back support. You have a lot of aerobic programs like running, jogging. You're putting a lot of compression on the back. That doesn't happen on the cardio pull. So you continue that. Start off with about 2 to 3 minutes. Work up to where you can do 20 minutes. in one session. It might take you a while. Again, have fun in your cardiovascular program. All the details are in your exercise chart on the cardio pull. Enjoy it, have a good time. Okay, we showed you the cardio pull just in the last exercise, and now we're going to go another step forward to take you to a more advanced program of doing a cardiovascular exercise. These are going to be 4 combinations of exercises that you can go from one exercise to the other. The reason this gives you more variety. You could just do the cardio pull and do your 20-30 minutes, but this is called circuit training, which is going to get more muscle tone, more strength training along your aerobic fitness program. There will be some different exercises that will have to change position, so watch what I do, because you'll be doing this in your aerobic training program. Again, always refer to your chart when you have to. Let's go over the cardio pull real quick again. Again, take your pulleys. Start at a high level. Get yourself in position. You can always sit towards the end of the board. Put your feet on the platform, and then start your routine. Again, about 3 to 5 minutes. Work this exercise up. Again, keep it fun, keep it flowing, and really get those repetitions going. Do a lot of variety. Do a lot of different positions. Once you get that 3 to 4 minutes and you work up to that 5-minute program, then we want to change to the next exercise. What we're going to do there, you just step off the unit, let your board come down. Now you have 45 seconds to go to the next exercise without losing your cardiovascular benefit. We'll disconnect the pulley, just lift your board up just a little bit, slide your pulley off, just lay this on the back, and get into your squats. We're just going to do leg squats. This really uses the big muscle groups. You can really get into that repetition again. Again, if you want to do some variety, your legs are probably tired by this time. You can already start to feel it. Do some lateral squats. Okay? Do some inner thighs. Work those inner thighs while you're doing your aerobic fitness. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, you can do some one-legged squats. Again, you're going to get tired. You're going to feel it. Lateral. Okay, that heart rate's really getting up. Now we're going to go to the next exercise. Again, step off the unit. Always control your board. Let it roll down. And we're going to change the level because this next exercise is a tough one. As we lower the system down, you pull out your safety pins. Just like that. Take your adjustment hinge in the back, lift it, let it go down to about the 3rd level. That's a good starting level. Put your safety pins back in. This will keep the unit from falling in case somebody happens to take that adjustment lever and lift it up. Now we're going to hook up the pulley system again. As quickly as you can, hook your pulley to the board underneath. Grab your handles and get into the next exercise. Place your hands on the top of the board, kneel right behind, and get right into the surfer exercise, working lower back, arms, shoulders, chest. Really get those repetitions going. Again, do some variety. Work the shoulders. Do some lateral raises for the backs of the arms. You want to keep this up for 2 to 3 minutes and work up to 5 minutes. And breathe. Do some upper chest and backs of the arms. And just keep that rotation and that movement going. You know, you don't want your exercise program to be boring. You want to keep that repetition going so you can get up to that 5 minutes. You know, most exercise programs are so boring when you do it because there's no variety. You want to disconnect the pulley. We're going to go into the next exercise. Make sure you have your swivel foot holder ready to go. Pull your pins. You can hook up your pulley again. And get into your rowing. Position yourself, put your feet in the foot holder. You really don't have to strap your feet in because you're just a fastening position for your feet, and just really get into it. Get that chest, arms, shoulders, get that repetition going. Change the variety. And breathe. Again, this is supposed to be fun. Okay. Do some biceps. Do some shoulders. 5 minutes is a long time. Pace yourself. Now you've finished your 4 exercises. You've worked up to where you can do 20 minutes over a period of time. That's the 4 exercises in your basic aerobic circuit training program. Again, stick with it. It's a tough program. There are 3 additional exercise attachments that you can purchase for your total gym. I'm going to start explaining each one for you so you can see what you can do with these. The pull-up press bar lets you do a pull-up and also a front press. The way you hook these up at the top of the rails, put your safety pin in. This secures both your handles into place, ready to do a pull-up. You can take these off, put it at the bottom to do your front press. The leg pull and ankle cuff accessory is really a great accessory for working the hamstrings, inner thighs, and leg extension. This is probably one of those advanced exercise accessories that you'll have to have. You hook it to the top of the support post. Make sure that you have your lower cable, so this comes right through the pulley. Hook it under the board. Now you're ready to hook this to your ankle and your leg to do hamstrings, inner thighs, and a leg extension. That's one additional exercise. Those of you that want added resistance, you can change the levels, and get it up to the 6 levels, but we also have an added weight bar. The weight bar fits in the holes in the side of the board, and then you can add just standard weight plates that you can get from the sporting goods store. Just like that. You add your plates on the side. That'll give you the ability to add more weight for more of a bodybuilding program.
The intermediate workout is a serious workout. You're taking the 7 exercises from the beginning workout and working at a higher intensity level. Lower repetitions at a higher level of resistance will increase strength, endurance, and overall body conditioning. In this workout, you will add some additional exercises and use circuit training to burn more calories, increase strength, and notice a change in flexibility. Start this workout with the leg pull. This program emphasizes strength and intensity. You will be doing circuit training, which burns fat, strengthens your heart and lungs, and builds muscle, all in one workout. This is a great exercise for shaping and sculpting the hips and thighs, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. You'll be doing anywhere from 12 to 20 repetitions and working at a higher elevation than the beginner program. A tempo of 2 up and 2 down will build strength and endurance. Next is the arm pullover. Your tempo is 2 up and 2 down. This upper body exercise works triceps, shoulders, lats, and upper abdominals. Be sure when doing this exercise to roll your head and shoulders forward. Don't lift the back up. The butterfly works your upper body muscle groups through different planes of motion. This enhances strength and creates a more functional muscle. In this exercise, you can really feel the stretch in the shoulders, while the abdominals are resisting the downward force. The seated row works the upper back, rear deltoids, and lats. This exercise provides strength and stamina in the whole upper shoulder and back area. Remember to check the flip chart for the tempo of each exercise. Squats develop strength in the hip and thigh area, along with the quadriceps and calves. Since your back is supported on the board, the weight is off the hips and the knees. This enables you to do a leg squat through a full range of motion without stress on the joints. By changing the position of your feet, you can work different muscle groups. The decline ab crunch is a unique exercise in that you perform it on an incline plane. This gives you a head start as you start your crunch. It also helps to keep the strain off the back since you have complete back support as you go through the range of motion. The stretcher is the most effective stretching exercise you'll ever do for the hamstrings. It's effective because you can relax as the incline resistance pulls and stretches you. Be sure to hold for a 3 count at the end of your stretch. Remember, you're in a circuit training program. The rest periods are only as long as the time it takes to set up the next exercise. The twister hits the obliques. This area around the trunk has always been a difficult area to work. Make sure that you do a complete range of motion so that you get the full benefit of this exercise. It's important to watch your form because it's easy to catch yourself cheating as you get into your higher repetitions. This will really help to slim down and flatten your whole trunk region.
That finishes the basic intermediate program for both men and women. The next few exercises are designed to really complement and finish off a woman's workout.
This is the hip abductor. Women love this exercise. It's a toning, firming, and shaping exercise for the hip and thigh area. You
Feel the burn in the hip and thigh area immediately in this exercise. Remember to check your flip chart for info on tempo and reps for this exercise. The tricep extension helps to eliminate the flab in the back of the arms. Doing your 12 to 20 repetitions will tighten and firm the tricep and forearm area. Don't cheat. Make sure you keep
your form while performing
this exercise. The
hip and thigh extension works the hip region,
the abdominals and shoulders. As you fully extend, make sure that you keep your body straight and don't let your hips
and thighs go below the straight line. This forces you to use your abdominal
muscles. You may notice in the beginning that your arms may fatigue while doing this exercise. Keep working. Your strength will improve over time. Men should add the following 3 exercises to their intermediate program. The seated bench press is designed to build definition, endurance, and flexibility. While you're doing your bench press for the chest, shoulders, and arms,
you're also forced to resist with the abdominal muscles. In the intermediate program,
we take advantage of working as many muscle groups as we can at the same time. This will maximize your effort and save you time. The seated curl is a great exercise for targeting the biceps. This bicep curl is done with a tempo of 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down. This gives you the intensity to build your biceps. Make sure that you keep your arms up and your back straight while performing
this exercise.
The pull-up
exercise works the shoulders, lats, and
upper back. The total gym allows you to use only a percentage of your body weight, which gives you the ability to do repetitions. The pull-up is one of the best upper body exercises that you can do for building strength in the shoulders, arms, and back area. This exercise also helps decompress the joints while doing a relaxing stretch.
In the advanced program, we're looking to increase muscle mass without the added compression to the joints produced by conventional weight equipment. By lowering the repetitions, increasing the levels, and doing 3 sets to failure, you can increase stamina, strength, and muscle definition without losing your flexibility. The advanced program provides 2 different alternating routines. On days 1 and 3, you're working the chest, arms, shoulders, and trunk. Days 2 and 4 work the back, the legs, abdominal, and different shoulder muscles. This program allows you to rest different muscles on alternating days. The program for day 1 and 3 starts with the front press. You should do 1 to 3 sets to fatigue with 8 to 15 repetitions
per set. This will
build strength and mass. Your tempo should be 2 seconds up and 3 seconds down. In the butterfly exercise, we're going
to hit the upper body again. You'll be doing 3 sets to fatigue and lower reps at higher levels. The slower tempo creates a program to build the muscle, not just condition it.
The seated bench press builds endurance, definition, and flexibility. While you're doing your bench press for the chest, shoulders, and arms, you're also forced to resist with the abdominal muscles. In the
seated position, the front deltoid raise
enables you to have complete control through a full range of motion. This brings in the front of the shoulders to create tremendous strength and
power.
In the side deltoid raise, make sure you're positioned with your head down and your arms to the side in the starting position. This exercise works the upper shoulders by keeping your arms slightly bent and raising your arms
to shoulder level as you go through the range of motion.
The rear deltoid raise
the back of the shoulder and upper back. We're hitting the deltoid muscle in 3 consecutive exercises to increase size and definition. Concentrate on your form and tempo throughout the exercise. This bicep curl, done with the tempo of 2 seconds up and 3 seconds down, gives you the intensity to build your biceps. Make sure that you keep your arms up and your back straight while performing this exercise. The laying curl is designed to work the whole bicep muscle through a full range of motion. You can't cheat when doing this exercise. The laying curl takes the back out of the exercise and forces you to only use the bicep. The pulley ab crunch exercise lets you do a crunch sit-up with resistance. This increases strength and fatigues the abdominal muscles much quicker than lying on the floor. Make sure you only lift your head and shoulders while keeping your back on the board. The twister allows you to build tremendous trunk strength. Make sure that you follow through at the beginning and the end of the repetition. Be careful. It'll be difficult to maintain your form as you fatigue, but you can do it. The seated row is one of the best exercises to work the upper back, rear deltoids, and lats. Keep your concentration and focus on the slow tempo. Breathe evenly, as many people have the tendency to hold their breath and move too quickly. In the advanced pull-up, you may want to use the weight bar to add resistance. This is one exercise where you'll see tremendous gains in strength in a short amount of time. To add more power in the arm pullover exercise, make sure that you keep your hands together as you come over your body to the finish position. The straighter your arms, the more difficult the exercise. The seated high pull works the upper shoulders, biceps, and back. In the starting position, make sure that your knees are just off the end of the board, your arms and elbows are up, and your palms down. Remember, keep your back straight. The leg pull employs a combination of muscle groups to help fatigue the lower body muscles. Really keep your intensity and form, as this will benefit you in your leg routine. When starting the one-legged squat, make sure that you position your leg in line with your shoulder. Don't start off with too much resistance. You don't want to put undue stress on your joints. Alternate legs, completing a total of 3 sets with each leg. The toe raises really isolate the calves and the ankles. Remember, form and tempo. Make sure you keep this going. The lunges are a very unique exercise to the Total Gym. Working while the platform is moving is a real challenge. Keep focused on your balance and form throughout this exercise. Be sure to alternate both legs. The hip abductor exercise is great for both men and women. As in the intermediate program, you will really feel this exercise in your outer hip and thigh area. In the hamstring stretch, make sure that you complete your range of motion at the start and the finish. Do not bounce. Once you have done one leg, alternate to the other. This stretch will seem awkward at first. Make sure your arms and shoulders are comfortable. The tricep extension forces you to isolate the tricep muscle. Since this is a smaller muscle group, you may want to lower the level of resistance. Remember, the level of resistance is determined by how many repetitions you can do. For the kneeling kickback, position yourself on the board with your knees at the top of the board. With your elbows locked to your sides, reverse your palms and hold on to the pulley handles. Then kick back your arms until they are straight. Keep the recommended tempo. When doing the surfer, make sure you totally relax at the end of the repetition. At the finish, your chest is out in front of your arms as if you were standing at attention. For the side bends, position your head at the top of the board and your feet at the end of the board. Lock your arms with the pulley cables in hand so you're only bending at the trunk. Just slide your body from one side to the other at the trunk, keeping your back flat and your head slightly up. This is the second time that the twister is in your advanced program. The reason for this is that we are compounding the benefits of the trunk exercises. We have just completed the surfer, the side bend, and now the twister. Your sports-specific programs are designed to improve your ability and make you a better athlete. These programs will enhance your flexibility and functionality. When doing these programs, it's important to do higher repetitions. The idea is to build endurance, flexibility, range of motion, balance, and technique for your sport. In general, your repetitions for a sports-specific program should be in the range of 15 to 30 repetitions. The tempo should be 1 second up and 1 second down for endurance. Vary your tempos from time to time so that you achieve strength as well as endurance. Refer to the flip chart for info on reps, tempo, and resistance. One of the first things you'll notice when you begin working out on the Total Gym is that you feel better. Not only when you're working out, but all the time. That's because the Total Gym lets you exercise at your own pace, without the strain
Placed on your joints by traditional exercises. 8 to 15 minutes a day is all it takes to make a dramatic change in
the way you look and feel. So now it's time for you to get started. Good luck, have fun, and let the Total Gym become part of your life. You'll be glad you did.